Hello, my 420 spot family and community. How's everybody doing today? Smoke 'em if you got 'em. It's Wednesday, May 5th, here, 2025. And in the news here today, some of the top things there to know is President Donald Trump hosted Mark Fogel, the guy who was released there from Russia, who had possessed medical cannabis and everything in Russia and spent a little bit while in jail there. But yep, during his speech there to Congress and everything, he didn't mention anything about, him being in jail there in Russia for cannabis, for marijuana, and there in Russia, that Mark Fogel dude. Then we got the Pennsylvania Attorney General Dave Sunday said he wants to be a voice for potential public safety risks of legalizing marijuana. And the House and Senate GOP leaders are casting doubt that the reform has enough support to pass this session. The Nebraska Legislature General Affairs Committee held a hearing on bills to amend the state's voter approved medical cannabis initiatives, including one measure to recriminalize all forms of marijuana except pills and tinctures. Meanwhile, the Attorney General is threatening a new lawsuit claiming that the federal law blocks the state from licensing cannabis businesses. A report from the commission by the California Department of Cannabis Control concluded that the ongoing federal ban on interstate marijuana commerce is a key factor aiding the illicit market and hurting licensed medical cannabis facilities. The Arizona state passed a bill to create a psilocybin advisory board charging with studying the science and the psychedelics, as well as the state and federal policies concerning it. And the House of Representatives passed legislation there in Arizona to set aside money for clinical trials on ibogaine, whatever that is. I'm not sure what that is. Probably a psychedelic. I got to research that and we'll get back to you on that one. The Missouri House Veterans and Armed Forces Committee approved a bill to legalize the medical use of psilocybin psychedelics by military veterans who meet certain conditions and to fund studies on the therapeutic potential of psychedelics. A new report from the Transform Drug Policy Foundation projects that legalizing marijuana in the United Kingdom, over there across the pond, would earn that country up to 1.5 billion pounds in annual tax revenue and government savings, while it would create as many as 15,500 full-time jobs. That's across the sea over there in England. That's a lot. We need to get it across the board here in the United States. A new poll from Nug MD finds that 2 out of 3 marijuana consumers say they have decided to spend less on cannabis due to the broader initiative in the ad, due to the broader inflation in the economy initiative. It's an initiative getting inflation up there as high as it is. Georgia lawmakers, they're considering legislation to expand access to medical cannabis under the state's current low THC oil program by adding new qualifying conditions, allowing vaping, and allowing all parts and any derivatives of the marijuana plant to be used. I'm all for that. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick said President Donald Trump's new tariffs are part of a drug war, not a trade war. I don't know about all that, but we'll find out. And then Pete Ricketts, the senator, Nebraska Attorney General, and the Nebraska Attorney General co authored and co edited urging state lawmakers not to pass medical cannabis legislation this session. That makes things a little rough there in Nebraska, boy. California, Governor Newsom there, man, he announced that officials seized $534 million worth of illegal cannabis in 2024. That's a lot of cannabis they seized over there in California. The Washington, D.C. Council chairman filed legislation to give regulators expanded authority to take action against unlicensed cannabis businesses. Watch out if you're not licensed there in D.C., they coming, they coming. Alabama Senate Majority Leader said he supports restarting the medical cannabis business licensing process. And then the Texas State Senate Affairs Committee held a hearing on legislation to ban the consumable hemp products that contain any form of THC. Well, man, that's about all hemp. All hemp contains just a smidgen of THC, so that's not right. The Ohio Senate General Government Committee held a hearing on a bill to restrict sales of most ingestible and intoxicating hemp products. That's not right either. The chair of New York Senate Finance Committee is criticizing a proposal from Governor Kathy Hochul, whatever her name is, Governor Kathy there, to use marijuana revenue to repay the state's contributions to the Cannabis Social Equity Investment Fund. Wow. Kansas senators filed a marijuana decriminalization bill. Cool. They should just legalize it. And then Vermont regulators published guidance on marijuana product labeling, registration, and pesticide use. Man, you got to be careful with them pesticides. Some of them, if they don't get those things flushed out, that can be bad. And that pretty much about wraps it up. So we got some good things coming along there for the veterans with psychedelic usage and studies and all that coming along. I'm 100% for that. You know, folks, we need to get all across the board here in the United States and get the federal government on board. I don't know what all Trump's got going on, but let's see what we can do here. You know, keep reaching out to your federal representatives there in the Senate and the House and tell them, let's get this done. Folks, reach out to your local representatives and tell them to get it passed in your state if it's not already legal there in medical. We need to get it done across the board. There's no reason for people to be going to jail. Folks, this is May 5th, 2025. My 420 spot news update for the day. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And as always, like and subscribe. Tell us where you're listening from. Have a great day.